Welcome to your restorative practice. We are going to begin with our breathing exercise, which you can do seated. You can do that lying down on your back. You don't have to be seated like I am. If you are, I do want you to be comfortable. So maybe sit on top of a prop, something that allows your spine to grow tall with some ease. Our breathing exercise for the next few weeks is called Brahmari breath, and that's an inhale through the nose and an exhale like a humming sound at the back of the throat, nice gentle humming sound. Brahmari means bumblebee in Sanskrit, and it's a little vibration. It's very soothing for the nervous system, so it's a great way to tap into parasympathetic nervous system response. And I'll demo. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling with the lips gently sealed. And you're drawing out your exhale for your own natural exhale breath. It doesn't have to match mine. Your breath might be a little bit slower. It might be a little bit quicker. We can try it together a few times, and then you can have an experience of it going at your own pace if it's not matching mine. Again, no shame in that. So maybe let's close down the eyes, relax the shoulders down the back. Just start to draw your awareness in towards the body. Notice the breath here without controlling it just yet. Just notice it. We'll begin Brahmari by inhaling through the nose. On your exhale, you hum. And then we repeat several times, inhaling when you're ready. Exhale, humming. And then finding your own pace with this. Big breath in. Your exhale is your hum. Keep going. Let's do 3 more rounds of Brahmari breath. Last round of Brahmari breath. And then when you complete your last round, let go of Brahmari. Just return to that normal breath. And if you're laying down on your back, just come up to a seat for a moment. We're just going to do a seated rotation before we set up for our first long hold. So you rotate your pelvis off to the right side, right fingertips behind you. Nice and tall through your spine. Deep breath in. On your exhale, maybe look back over the right shoulder. Come back to center, rotating towards your left hip. Left fingertips behind you like a little kickstand. Find that first breath in to grow tall through your spine, and then exhale, you might look back over your left shoulder. And then we'll unwind, we'll come back through center. And we're going to take 2 really specific poses today, and they're going to be long holds, 5 minutes apiece. And so 2 props that I'd like you to have at least. One would be something that's like a couch cushion. And because a couch cushion instead of a pillow gives you more firm feedback typically. So if you can pull a couch cushion off of your couch, Even if you need to pause the video to do that, go ahead. Also, if you have bolsters at home, those work fabulously well. I'm just trying to get creative with what you might have in your household. And then the second prop, this you may or may not need it, but it would be having a couch or a bed nearby. That can come in really handy. When we go on to our second pose, it's going to be some pretty deep knee flexion. And having a couch behind you to lean back on is really quite lovely. So couch cushions, maybe a chair, couch, and or maybe a bed in place of a couch around you. So our first shape, we're going to use this couch cushion. Depending on how long your couch cushions are, you might want a couple, because I want basically your legs and your pelvis and a little bit of your back to be laying on top of this cushion. And so what we're going to target here is the upper back. So your shoulder blades, they make this V shape on your back. That's where we're going to rest at the top of our couch cushion. And so the legs will lay down on top of that. And then the back of the head and the top of the shoulders are trying to lay down on the floor or the yoga mat if you have one of those underneath the couch cushion. So you're going to sit on top of that couch cushion, extend your legs out, and then lay down. And this is going to take some figuring out for the length of your body, but see how the back of my head, my neck, and a little bit of the tops of my shoulders are on the mat. And my rib cage is lifted, my pelvis is lifted, my legs are lifted. They're being elevated on top of that couch cushion. So again, take the time. You have the time today. We're only doing a couple of poses because I want you to get into this. So if you need to go grab an extra couple of pillows or cushions, then please do that. And we will set ourselves a timer here for 5 minutes. We'll talk about the arms a little bit, the arm placement. You can stretch the arms out wide. You want your whole arm bone to be heavy on the floor above that couch cushion. And the only reason I'm not doing that is because I'm trying to fix my mic. All right. So arms stretched out wide. You can also stretch your arms up and overhead. And this naturally kind of happens for me. There's a slight tuck of my chin in towards my chest. The back of the neck gets nice and long. And I can feel the upper side of the back of my shoulder is in contact with the mat. I can feel the edge, the top edge of what I'm laying on is ending right at the very tip of my shoulder blades. So that's kind of like where the rib cage meets the middle back, the bottom of your thoracic spine, if you're familiar with thoracic spine, which is your rib cage. Okay. And then here we'll start to just maybe close the eyes if that feels comfortable, if you can. You relax the jaw and the muscles of the face. Try your awareness to your breath. And keep focusing your attention and your awareness on your breath here. We'll spend some time in silence where I'd like you to try to stay with that breath, noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale. Invariably, your mind will take you away from that. Your mind will start to chit-chat and tell you stories, maybe ruminate over something that happened yesterday or this morning. And when that happens, it's no problem. That's the mind just doing its job of processing thoughts and feelings. Can you just gently guide your awareness back to your breath, though, when you do notice that? This inhale, this exhale. We'll take about 3 more slow, deep breaths here. And then start to bend your knees and plant your feet. And we'll begin to come off of whatever we're lying on. Take your time with your exit. Compress your way up. Then we'll rearrange our props to support our next shape. And that's going to be that deep knee flexion. A little bit of a back bend too, but we're moving that back bend more down now into the lumbar spine. And this is where having a couch behind you might come in really handy. So I'll set this up facing forward and then I'll turn it to the side so you can see the different angles. So I'm going to set my right cheek down onto this cushion. And actually both sits bones can be on the cushion. So I'm kind of completely seated on the cushion. I'm bending my left knee back. I'm stretching my left ankle back behind me. And I'm just letting this right leg stretch out, or I can keep the knee bent and the foot planted. And then I have this couch behind me that I can just lean back onto. And so I can start to feel a little bit of stretch along that right hip flexor. This is a really great way to work with your knee flexion, to work with the ankle mobility and the hip mobility without over straining and over efforting to get into what is called Supta Virasana, reclined hero's pose. Now, if you have the range of motion and flexibility in your body, I'll turn the other way. You can do this without any support underneath the sits bones by just, again, bending that left knee back. You're sitting inside of your ankle, so you can see my toes are pointing straight back behind me. The top of my ankle bone is pretty flat. And then I like to take cushions and stuff underneath my back so that when I lay down, I'm nice and supported in my upper back. Okay, so again, the ankle is typically the first barrier to entry. If you're not able to get the ankle flat, you need to sit up on something. You need to elevate your sits bones a lot. And then the second thing we want to really, really be mindful of and be supportive of is the flexion in the knee. So again, a lot of height underneath your sits bones can help with that too. And then when you're wanting to lean back and relax into this, that's where the couch behind you comes in handy. So there's a lot of different ways to approach this shape. It's not a one size fits all approach. Please be mindful of where you're at today, what you need today to make this possible for you. And again, just keeping in mind that we're here for 5 minutes. That's not an insignificant amount of time. So it's worth it to set it up correctly for your body. You could think of it less as a modification and more of yourself learning how to meet you where you're at within your body today. Stay within the borders of your body. It's normal to feel a little bit of discomfort around the knee joint, maybe even the ankle joint. And discomfort's something that we can breathe through typically. Sometimes it might feel dull, achy kind of a pain. But the pain that we want to avoid for sure is that pain that is very sharp. So a very sharp pain. Let's avoid that. If we're feeling that, back out of your shape, add more props underneath your body, underneath your sits bones. Also, the other pain we want to look out for is that nervy sensation, tingling, numbness. So again, if we're feeling that, we want to back out of our shape, add some more support underneath the body. And if you're feeling like, okay, this is tolerable, but not for the whole 5 minutes, that's okay. Come out of it when you need to. You can always roll off to a side and extend that right leg out long and just find a Shavasana-like shape where you're laying on your back. There's so many benefits to just laying down on the surface of the floor on your back. We all have our own limits, and it's okay that we look different in different shapes. And one of the things that I hope this practice brings to your life, both on the mat and off the mat, in the yoga room, outside of the yoga room, is your ability to honor your limits in a really compassionate way. Can you do it with kindness for yourself? Like, really, it's not a big deal if you can't lay down on your back. It's really not, I promise. That's what couches are for, to support us. Use your props around you. And we have about a minute left here in our first side, in this first side of our Supta Virasana, our reclined hero's pose. Do your best if you're staying with me and it's feeling bearable. Just breathe. Slow the breath down. One more breath here. Okay, and then to get out of this, if you're still have that knee bent and ankle folded back behind you, if you're all the way down on your back, slowly make your way up to a seat. And then you're going to roll body weight all the way to the leg that is straight. And then release your bent leg, knee. Let that leg stretch out. Go slow, go slow, go slow. Go slow with that. Let the leg stretch out. And then once both legs are stretched out, I want you to just rub your hands around the leg that was just bent, around the knee. Give it a little shake. And then we'll start to set up for a second side. And whatever you do on your second side might look and feel really different than what you did on your first side, just depending on maybe old injuries, different ranges of motion, different dominance from right to left side. So be willing to acknowledge the differences in your sides if that's something that's happening for you. I know we want things to be symmetrical and even, and it's just not the way that life always is. Sorry, it's true. Okay, so opposite leg, whatever leg you started with. I know I always say right and left, but we're going to do both sides. So if you're on a different side than me, no big deal. The key things to pay attention to here as we set up this side: ankle mobility first, toes pointing straight back behind you. If this ankle is not getting flat on the floor, then we're adding more height underneath the sits bones. So there's less pressure on the ankle. Same thing goes for that knee. Same thing goes for that knee. Okay, and then if we are sitting down on the floor, we want to make sure we're sitting inside of the ankle. We're not sitting on top of the ankle. And then you might want to gather several pillows behind you or lean those elbows back on that couch and try and settle in. And it's okay if you don't get it first try. Maybe you need to adjust your props. Like I said, can be really different what you need on this side versus the first side. You might need more, you might need less. Take the time to set it up so that it feels sustainable for the length of the practice. And that does not have to be the full 5 minutes. If you need to come out sooner, you need to come out sooner. That's okay. Very gentle seal of your lips. Try to breathe through your nose. Draw your awareness down into the loudest sensation in your body right now. Where are you feeling things first? What's the first sensation in the body? Acknowledge it. See if you can describe it. What does it feel like? What is that sensation like? So you're just trying to use adjectives to describe how you feel. Is it discomfort? Is it pain? Can you tell the difference between the two? Does it feel really good? Are you relaxed? Is it peaceful? Notice those things also. And sometimes they coexist, the discomfort and the sense of peace. Sometimes they coexist. Bring that awareness to your breath. This inhale, this exhale, see if you can stay with it. Just knowing that invariably the mind will wander. It's just part of being human. It's part of having a brain. Your brain's just doing what it's supposed to do. You can gently acknowledge when your thoughts have taken you away from the present moment and bring it back to the breath. We have about 1 minute left in our shape. Slow, deep belly breaths. Take one more breath where you are. If you're all the way down on your back, really slow on your exit. You can slowly make your way up to that seat. Roll all the body weight off to the leg that is straight. And then release that bent knee. Let it lengthen out. Go super slow with that. And then we can take the hands to the knee, give it a gentle little pat rub. Shake out the legs a couple of times. Whew. That's a big one. Okay. So now we're going to come down onto our back, do a little bit of rotation, prepare for a short Savasana, and then we'll be done with our practice. So come down onto your back, hug those knees into the chest, rock side to side. Should feel pretty good on your low back right about now. Let's let those knees fall off to the left side. You can just simply stack the knees, stack the hips, let your right shoulder stretch wide off to the right side. 2 breaths here. And then you can come back to center, hugging those knees into the chest. Then let the knees fall off to the right side. Shoulders are stretching wide away from the spine, left shoulder in particular. See if you can stay grounded there on the floor. Try to allow that left hip to stack all the way on top of the right hip as the knees rotate off to the right side. 2 breaths. When you're ready, unwind, come back to the center of your mat. You can hug your knees into your chest one last time. You could take happy baby if that feels good. And then we'll stretch out on our back. We'll take 1 minute for Shavasana. You can, of course, stay longer in your Shavasana as long as you like, really. I'll set us a timer, though, for 1 minute, and then I will guide us through one round of Nadi. And then I will guide us through about 3 rounds of Brahmari breath. to close out our practice. And you can do that from your back if you'd like to. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Slightly tilt the chin in towards the chest. Take a nice deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. Very gentle seal of the lips. In and out through the nose, just breathing. Let it go, let it rest. Savasana. Feel free to stay as you are on your back. If you'd like to close your practice in that upright seat with me, you can begin to make your way there. We'll set up for 3 rounds of Brahmari breath. That's our inhale through the nose. Our exhale is our gentle hum. You can imagine, channel that inner bumblebee sitting up nice and tall if that's where you are. Deep breath in. Exhale to begin. 2 more times like that. Deep breath in. Exhaling to hum. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, hum. Let your breath return to normal. Join the hands together at the heart. Bow the chin into the chest. Take a moment to honor your practice with reverence and gratitude to all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste, yogis.